Dr. Carbone, every year you put on this event called Breath of Hope. And I think the title of this event has so many different layers to it. Obviously, talking about lung cancer, but there is hope out there. Can you first tell me, what does that hope look like for those who are going through lung cancer or their families?
Well, lung cancer has always had a very bad prognosis and very few survivors. When I started years ago, median survival was in the 6 month range from diagnosis to death. So we really had very little hope and very little awareness. But the 5 year survival has doubled or almost tripled in the last couple of decades due to science advances and new treatments. We've defined a dozen specific molecular targets, uh, mutated genes that uh, drive a lung cancer to grow. And we've developed very specific drugs that we can match to tumors that have that gene and have dramatic prolongation of life with just usually oral therapy. And these changes are not small. I mean, I said 6 month average survival. With some of the new therapies, we don't even know. It looks like it's going to be more than 10 years with these just a simple oral therapy. So it's really quite a big advance.
Clear up a myth for me, Dr. Carbone. Uh, People say, oh, well, I don't smoke. I'm not around secondhand smoke, so I should be fine.
Well, that's false. If you have lungs, you can get lung cancer. And smoking in the US is dramatically declining. It's way down from what it was years ago. So we actually are seeing more and more patients who have never smoked. They've exercised, they've eaten their green vegetables, and they still develop lung cancer. In fact, I would say more than half of the patients I see in clinic now have never smoked and have lived right and still have lung cancer. So I think it's a mistake to think that you aren't at risk. And the what's thought to be the second biggest cause of lung cancer in this country is actually radon exposure. It's just naturally occurring radioactive gas that's colorless and odorless that's actually very high and very common in central Ohio. The fact is that if you look at the EPA's website for areas of the country that have very high radon exposure levels, the entire central Ohio, southern Ohio, is in zone 1, the highest level. So, Licking County has had some press as to being high, but really the fact is this whole region has a high level. Franklin County, all of the counties in especially southern and central Ohio, virtually every house will have a radon exposure problem.
Is that a geography situation with what's in our soil, or was it because of certain types of industry that was big in central southern Ohio? Like, what brought the radon there?
We'd like to blame industry or other things, but actually it's due to the degradation of naturally occurring elements in the soil that are just at a high level here in Ohio, and that decay releases the radon gas, which is a highly radioactive, as I said, colorless, odorless gas that tends to percolate out of the ground and accumulate in basements. So lung cancer screening is now approved, but only for heavy smokers. And and the sad fact is that only about 10% of people who are eligible for screening even get screened.
Wow.
So we need to advertise the fact that CT screening saves lives. The lung cancer screening test is the simplest of all screens. You don't have to undress. You don't have to do a colonoscopy prep. You don't have to smash body parts. You just lay on a table and it's literally 8 seconds and with a low dose CT and it's done.